Lords and ladies, welcome back to the ICEcast and another episode. Kind of missed a week last week. That's just kind of how it's been lately. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of hard getting people to come over to record. Kind of hard to set things up, but things are looking up. We got 3 guests lined up from here on out, so I hopefully can get those recorded and put out. Some pretty cool things coming up. We got a new logo being worked on for the podcast and hopefully a new intro song. But with all that being said, we got 4th of July coming up this weekend, so happy 4th of July to everybody. And I know there's not much to do still, especially here in Florida, but I hope everyone stays safe, has a good time, celebrates our independence, what little we have right now. But I sit down with my buddy Brian again just to kind of BS. I decided let's go ahead and record, and we talk a little bit about what's going on today, how we feel about the virus situation, and how Florida's handling it. And we talk about some more Game of Thrones, of course, and a little bit of the new season of Rainbow Six Siege. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you on the next one.
Oh, glad I got that beer now. That's fucking 20
Right?
minutes.
That's your fault somehow. Oh boy. Thanks for being on again, man.
Yeah.
I was going to have my cousin from up north, but he's hurting. He hurt himself at his daughter's T-ball game yesterday, so he couldn't do anything.
How do you hurt yourself at a...
You're old and you bend over to pick up a ball.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You know. How do you hurt yourself sleeping? I've done that too. Just woke up like, what the hell was that? What was I dreaming about?
Right.
How you feeling? Feeling good today?
Getting by. I was
All right.
hoping for some rain today, man, to be honest with you, but...
It got a little dark over here.
It got dark, man. Got dark, but... Florida. That's all I gotta say.
Man. How's things going over there with the family? Everyone good?
Yeah, everybody's settling down. Harper's still adjusting. And Lucas has no clue, so Lucas is just made himself. But, no, it settled down. I actually, being the guy that I am, the husband and father I am, decided to cheer everybody else up and went and got a hamster for... yeah, tell me about it. No, I went and Rebecca's been wanting she had a hamster years ago and it died, and I bought her a second one and it died. So I was like, I'm tired of buying hamsters. So she's been asking for a couple years, and then with putting Connor down, you know, went out, got the hamster. Harper got super excited. She wanted a rabbit, but that's not happening. Yeah.
You'd end up with like 8 by the 3rd week.
I'm telling you. That's why I looked at the thing and it was cute and all, but I was like, nah. I was like, I can't cook you. I mean, I could, but it's not.
You could.
But, yeah, got him a hamster, so she's still adjusting now. But, they're doing well.
Good. I was wondering how she was taking it, if she recognized that he wasn't back and not coming back or whatever.
Oh, dude, it hit her hard. Like Rebecca was telling me when I left to take him to the vet, like she was just bawling and wondering if I was bringing him back. Yeah. And then the next day, I mean, it was just a train wreck.
Right.
But, yeah.
Tank is my 3rd dog. First dog we had passed away of old age. I was probably like 6, 7.
Right.
Then the second dog we had, Bear was his name, and he passed away real young, had a heart attack while my dad was giving him a bath. So he just flopped in Dad's arms. That one hit him pretty hard.
Jesus.
Yeah. So.
That's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not. I was disappointed, obviously, but like, I got Connor when he was 3 years old, and like he was emaciated, like bare bone down to the ribs. Nobody fed him, nothing.
Right.
So got him to the vet, taken care of, got him 100% where he should be within months, and he was an awesome dog. It just got to the point of like his hips were giving out because of the old age. I mean, he was almost 12, and the aggressiveness was just adding up, and that came with the age. So I can't blame him there. But just
what was his
much
breed?
He was a border collie, like 70% border collie, 30% pit bull.
Okay. I mean, obviously pit, but do border collies have a reputation for getting violent or anything?
I looked just to see, and all the consensus I got from it was during old age. Like, okay. That's when they started to exhibit such, features. But, at the end of the day, man, I knew he had a good life, so there was no sense in dragging it out. So, right. It's shitty, but.
Yeah. Tank has, man, he's a mutt. He has Hound, Shar-Pei,
Jesus.
Pit, and what was the other one? Chow. So he's not aggressive at all unless he's backed into a corner, which luckily doesn't happen anymore. Used to happen a lot with somebody else, but he's very dumb. I'll tell you that.
I will tell you though, some of these mutts and mixed breeds, man, they're some of the best dogs. Like, I've had some purebred dogs, and they just suck. Like, they just don't have that personality, man.
Right. That's exactly it. The breeds the mutts have more personality, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing I could say that, like, we've noticed, and me and Rebecca have talked about, is, like, the house feels so empty now because Connor made his presence known. He was a huge defender.
Right.
And, like, it feels so empty. I mean, now we got a fucking Chihuahua. And the Duncan ain't protecting shit, man.
No.
But
definitely not.
Rebecca asked me yesterday, like, if I plan on getting another dog or not here soon, and I was like, I'm probably going to wait a while, but if I do, it's probably going to be an Australian Shepherd. Been wanting one of those for a while. And they're loyal as hell, so. But, yeah. What's new for you, man? How's it work? How's that COVID treating you?
Man, I don't even like going to work, honestly. Like, not only is it right now just in a pattern of not being able to do what I'm supposed to do, what I'm good at, but it's just, we got this COVID number going up more and more every day, and getting phone calls from certain family members who are getting tested because of certain things now, and it's just scary. Dude, but
I'll tell you one thing. I mean, it's so tough because of the news media, because, it's safe to go, it's not safe to go, and the numbers are escalating. Like, I mean, clearly the numbers are escalating, but at this point, I think the American people, at least Floridians, just don't give a damn, and it's gonna turn harsh so quick, dude. I mean, it's just like I went into, and here's what kind of ticks me off sometimes. Like, I went into 3 weeks ago to Moe's Bar and Grill, got some tacos, didn't have a mask on, placed the order online, just walked inside, grabbed it, no issues. The workers were wearing masks. Happy for that, right?
Right.
So I go in there like 2 days ago, and I'm like, same thing, just online order, let me go inside, pick it up. Man, I walked in there, the fucking employees lit me up.
Really?
Like, you want to talk about some little disrespectful millennials? Off the wall. And I understand. I understand wholeheartedly. But post it on your business, post it on your website, whatever the case may be. And I sat there and asked him, I'm like, well, hey, I don't have a mask with me in the vehicle. Can you provide one? No, we can't. It's not our responsibility. Well, fuck, shut your doors then.
Right.
Like, it's just, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's my own ignorance. I should have brought a mask, considering, the epidemic it's getting more of an influx now. But in the same sense, like, it's just such a pain in the balls. I mean, because you have half the state is, hey, let's quarantine again, and the other half is just screw it.
Right.
So what do? Do I think everything probably should shut down again? Hell yeah. I mean, just for the simple fact, like when you explained, with your work. I mean, if you were the environment of your work, you bring it home. I mean, it's going to have catastrophic results.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, but it could, and it's just.
And nobody comes in with masks on either.
No. I
Nobody.
mean, and I'm 100%. Like I said, man, I'm guilty of that. Like, because I'm just getting back into the swing of things. Oh, shit's reopened. Sometimes I wear it, sometimes I won't. Like, if I go to the VA, I wear it. But like going to grab a taco somewhere, like, not really that big of a deal to me. But in the same sense, it's a big deal to somebody if I don't wear a mask.
Yep.
That's 100%. So it's they got to come down with something, man. Like some kind of.
I just think we know our governor's not going to do it. He's not going. His ego's too big to go back on his word and say that he'll re-quarantine or whatever. Even if it gets to the point where we're posting 100,000 cases a day, he won't do it. Guarantee it. His ego's too big. What needs to happen is some of these CEOs of some of these companies need to step up and realize, one, you're not making the profit you want to make anyway this year. It's not going to happen. You've already been affected. So you look at states like Texas and Florida, who are currently breaking records every day with cases. You need to step up and say, we're shutting down in that state. So, like, for instance, if you're in charge of a outlet store of some kind, if you're in charge of a Bell's, say, you're the CEO of Bell's, say, all right, all Florida Bell's close. The governor's not going to shut you down. You guys can still go out and do whatever you want, but you can't go to Bell's. Certain companies need to step up and make that impact.
And sadly enough, man, in my opinion, when we had the massive shutdown initially, a month and a half, 2 months ago?
That's almost 3 now, I think.
Right.
We shut down late, though.
Let me tell you one store that was still fucking open. Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and everything else is closed, so now you have these herds of people shopping in Walmart. And did they have any kind of strenuous, like, hey, you can't come in without a mask or anything? Hell no. Hell no, they didn't. No. So I'm with you there, man. It's just it's going to take a lot more. Sadly enough, it's going to take a lot more people to die before they do something.
Yep.
And even then,
the scary thing in Florida is now it's affecting the 20 to 40-year-old range.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you this. And Rebecca brought this to my attention, right? So we had Lucas in the hospital not too long ago because he was running high temps.
Right.
Got him in there. They ran a bunch of tests, IV, the whole nine, and came back, hey, it's a virus. We can't identify it, but it's a virus. So they tested him for COVID. Results came back negative. So that's great. But now Rebecca's on like a lot of these social media mom sites and whatnot, and groups and the whole nine.
Right.
The influx of children going in because of some random virus is through the roof right now.
Yeah.
And the fact medical professionals can't identify what it is, I mean, that's
it could be a strand of COVID. Yeah, because that's what happened in New York for a little bit, remember? Mm-hmm. There's like 2 weeks where a bunch of kids and infants and toddlers and like 4 and under were going in with this weird flu that they couldn't figure out, and they determined it was it was like a strand of the COVID flu.
Right.
And it's just, and I know that the more you talk about it, the more you'll get the people will argue with you saying, well, more people die from the regular flu every year. And it's like, okay, but that's also been around how long?
Right.
That thing's genetically changed to attack bodies differently. Also, there's more people that don't get it because of the fact that there is a flu shot available. Does it always work? No. I took the flu shot once, and when I did do it that year, I got sick, actually. I don't do it anymore. But still, there is things you can do. There's nothing you can do for this COVID right now, and
yeah, exactly.
You just got to be careful.
It's crazy, man, and it's and the worst. In my opinion, it's the worst part of the year, right? Because you have all of this other political shit going on, and everybody has just thrown COVID on the back burner.
Yeah.
Thrown COVID on the back burner, and now we're worried about these protests. What is that? That little zone they have in Seattle. They're finally starting to dismantle that.
Are they? I haven't heard anything more, man. That thing needs to go. That's a straight up terrorist organization.
Yeah. I mean, let me go take over a neighborhood because I'm insecure and somebody hurt my feelings. Like, it's not going to end well.
My buddy Tommy said the best thing on a post on Facebook. He said, all this is being done because those kids that grew up getting participation trophies are finally grown up. And I was like, fucking right? Like,
that is so fucking true.
Dude. So, I mean, it makes me think of, like, that thing in Seattle makes me think of, like, some of the things that have happened in the past. Like, I've talked about it before, and you and I know a lot about it, but the Waco siege with the Branch Davidians, all that shit. ATF and FBI jumped on that, and how many people were in there? Like a couple hundred maybe, and it was just one fucking house. But here you got a whole 6-block radius in the town that's the Branch Davidians didn't even say they weren't American. These people are just like, well, we're not part of the United States. Okay, well then you're fucking trespassing, and now it's time to
invade the dude. I'm telling you. But the problem is, this society has become so fucked, and I've said it in a podcast before, to where, like, when I was stationed in Germany, like, completely different culture, society overall in general, but they give a shit about it, their people. You know, granted, they have immigration issues right now themselves, and they're dealing with it, and the German people are actually rising up and beating the shit out of the immigrants because they're tired of these immigrants walking around committing crimes and not being arrested for it. But you look at where we're at today, man. Cops are – if I were a cop right now, I'd be scared to do anything because you don't know if your chief of police, your sheriff's going to back you, your city council, your mayor, your state, your governor, whatever. Like, you do anything, man, you're fucked. And that's why I think a big part of it in Seattle is why they just stepped out and they were like, no. I mean, they even – those protesters there, they got a hold of one of the police precincts, right? And they found weapons in there. A couple of people were killed over the past few weeks. They wouldn't let cops in to investigate nothing. And that's the society these dumbasses want, you know?
Right.
It's just ridiculous, man.
Jesus. One of the good things that comes out of this whole lockdown, though, I don't know if you saw, George R. R. Martin said that the next book should be done by next year.
It's outstanding.
Yeah. And I know you and I talked about this before. I really don't remember where the last book left off of. I want to say it was like right before they didn't even get to the Battle of the Bastards, right?
No, not that I can remember. I want to say it ended closer to, and I could be 100% wrong, man, but the Red Wedding, like right around that time frame.
Well, it was after that, obviously, because Catelyn came back, remember? And
that's right. Yeah. Lady, I know what you're talking about.
Lady Stone or something like that.
Yeah, Lady Stone. Yeah. Hell, if it was before Battle of the Bastards, I mean, it probably would have ended up, I'd say, probably right around. I mean, did Daenerys even come to Dragonstone at that point in the book?
No, she was still in Meereen at that point. At least at the end of the book, she's still in Meereen.
Right. Joffrey was dead, though. Yeah,
Joffrey's dead.
Tommen's dead. Tommen's dead, wasn't he? In the book?
No, I think Tommen's king right now, isn't he? Because
that
Battle of the Bastards and when Cersei blows up, that was all same time.
The Sept of Baelor,
There you go, the Sept, yeah. So that should all still be going on. There's a lot of people still alive.
Yeah, that's the one thing, man. I'm looking forward to the new book just because I want to see these character arcs develop even more so.
Right.
Versus the show where it's just that you're dead.
Well, George, not only, I mean, obviously he said the end of his story is completely different than the show.
Right.
But he also tries not to didn't want to let the show influence him in any way. That's probably why it took so long to write this book. The thing is, he said there was one character that he's actually going to probably write differently because of how well the actress played the character. I bet you can't guess who it was. Very small role.
Missandei?
Smaller than that, bro. Osha. Fucking Brand's woman.
She actually had a really big impact.
Big impact, small
in
role.
the show. Yeah.
But he said way that the actress played her, he said he just looked at the character differently. So he might be writing her differently, which would be pretty cool to see where that ends up. But think of like the stuff that didn't happen in the show that we might get. We might get Arya meeting her mom, the zombie version, you know. It's going to be crazy to think of stuff like that.
Could you imagine Lady Stone meeting John?
Dude. You think she ever...
Lady Stoneheart, that's what it was.
Yeah, Stoneheart. Like, that's one that sucks, is the fact that she never found out that her husband never cheated on her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that I wish they touched on, like, before Ned died. Maybe Son of Raven, just to let John know. But I could see
nobody knew
build
then.
Up to it.
Oh, John. I was talking about her, though.
But like, or maybe him send a Raven to her just saying, hey, listen, this is the truth. Because she treated that kid like shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I'm excited for it, man. Definitely get some downtime and just delve into it and knock it out, man. I'm excited to see where it goes. Especially, and sadly enough, man, not to jinx it, but I mean, he's getting old.
I know, right?
Dude, you know.
He better finish. All I'm saying is finish the book, bro. Yeah, at least finish this next book. We'll figure that out later. Maybe somebody can come on after that, but
I mean, the last thing you wanted is him to get halfway and then some Joe Blow comes in and finishes it, and it just goes completely to left field, kind of like the 8th season.
One of the D&Ds jump in. I'll write it.
Yeah.
Fuck off. You can go burn yourself. Like,
oh, Jesus, man. I'm kind of excited about one of these new series coming out, too, the TV series. But I would love to see what adaptation they're trying to do, because my big thing is I understand they want to go back towards the initial conquest of Westeros.
Yeah, the whole thing is Aegon arriving.
Right. I would actually pay to fucking see Robert's Rebellion.
I know.
Even though you know the outcome. Just to see that build up, man. Oh, I'd love for that.
They said, I don't remember where I read, this is probably complete bullshit, but I follow so many Game of Thrones things that they were talking about the upcoming show, about the Targaryens and, you know, the timeline and all this, and they said there's still a chance you might get to see Jon and Arya, and like they're naming the favorite characters. I'm like, how? It's set like 300 years before.
300 years before, yeah.
Before the rebellion even started.
How would you incorporate that? That would not happen.
I don't understand that at all, but that's all beforehand. I got some shit written down.
You could actually see it. Let me argue that for a second. You could no, because
shut up.
I was gonna say the three-eyed raven, but he's more of the past.
What's Bran gonna do?
Yeah, but I mean 300 years ago. I mean, yeah.
Oh well. Anyway. Speaking of Bran, though, I've had this stuff written down for the next time I had you on here. Stuff that I was thinking about, and I've talked with you a little bit about it. So we'll go with the show, since the show is what's over, since the books are still going. Show ends.
Shows what most people know.
Right.
Yeah.
And the bad thing is like for fans, season 8 just sucked. But if you just take a look at it and watch it, it's still a great show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Great action. The work on it was done really well. Everything looked good, sound good. So,
I mean, I've rewatched it, and I still have the same thought to it. But I mean, it's watchable, 100%.
Exactly.
It just didn't end the way you wanted it to. I mean, that's all it is.
Well, let's take a look at the way it landed, because I was curious about this. So, after everything goes out, Bran's king. Right. His high council was, you got Tyrion as the hand, Samwell, Bron's the master coin, Samwell is the Grand Maester, Davos was, what's he in charge of? Like the shipyard or something, right?
Master of ships and
sails and stuff.
Coin too?
No,
both?
Bronn was master of coin.
Okay, that's right.
And Brienne was Sir Brienne of Tarth. She was on the High Council also.
Hold on, who was Master of War?
Probably Brienne, isn't it?
No, she was a Kingsguard.
She's on the High Council also.
She could be.
She was sitting there at the end.
No, I'm saying she could be the man.
Yeah, they didn't really say what she was though. But she's on the Kingsguard with Podrick that we saw.
Yeah, Podrick. I'm happy about that.
Yeah. So, you take a look. The North is on its own kingdom, which means Sansa's the queen of.
The entire. From the neck and above.
Yeah. Okay. So, say something else happens, she has the entire North. Whatever's left of it, though, and she has the wildlings, I'm sure. Right. Jon would help, but you look like, from what we know, the houses that are no longer. The Freys are all gone.
Umbers are
gone. Boltons are gone. Mormonts are gone. I'm pretty sure the Mormonts are gone. I don't know if there was a sister or anything.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there probably is.
Tyrells are all gone. Targaryens are all gone.
Not necessarily.
Right.
I don't want it.
Cleganes, they're all gone that we know of. Yeah. So, there's not a lot of help up north. There's not, the big names down south anymore. But so, say the theory that you and I have, that Drogon takes Dany back to, what you call it?
Valyria.
Yeah. And she's getting resurrected. Okay. Say that happens. Boom. She's resurrected. She's going to want to come back.
Right.
If that happens, you try and look at who's still going to back King Bran up. There's nothing holding Bronn. You got Bronn. He's in charge of the whole Reach. He's got High Garden.
Yeah.
That dude's going to go with whoever has the most money, basically.
Well, technically, I mean, I would say at that point in the Seven Kingdoms or the Six Kingdoms, the Reach is probably the richest, right? Because it's the most fertile lands. Yep. The Westerlands, where the Lannisters were, all their gold deposits were empty. So I think.
Yeah, except the only thing about the gold is with Casterly Rock and Lannisport, that's obviously falls into Tyrion. He's now the lord of all that, even though he's probably never there.
Right.
Lannisport's still the second biggest port in Westeros.
Right.
So there's still a lot of money coming into it.
So your question is, what happens?
My question is, if Daenerys comes back, she can get the Unsullied back. They'll back her again.
I don't think she would.
But I'm saying she could. If she found them, they would follow her like that.
Right. Same with the Dothraki.
There's not much Dothraki left. A lot of them died against the White Walkers. They charged in.
Yeah, but you look at
probably a couple dozen left.
You look at the courtyard too. I mean, that was one of the biggest misconceptions in season 8, because you look at the battle of Winterfell, you would assume, based on the troop placement, all the Unsullied were killed, all of the Dothraki were killed.
That's the way they made it look. Yeah.
Right. But then you come out of it, and Grey Worm had said we lost half our forces. Yeah,
where was the other half? How'd you have that many people in the walls?
Right. And then the Dothraki, when they're in the courtyard of King's Landing after she conquered it, I mean, there was, I'd say, a couple hundred horsemen left, if anything.
Right.
But those two forces, I don't think there's enough to really do anything in the Seven Kingdoms.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, so you got those two. I'm pretty sure she would have the Iron Islands. Yara would turn on the kingdoms. Storm's End, Gendry would turn on the kingdoms.
Yeah, I could see that because,
Daenerys is the one who gave it to him.
Yeah.
You know, I think she could probably get Dorne too.
My only issue with it, bro, is I don't foresee. In my opinion, if she's resurrected in Valyria, right, she only has Drogon left. I think she is coming back with a vengeance. I don't think she's going to try to ally herself with anybody right off the bat. I think she's literally coming back and just burning every fucking buddy.
What if the other two dragons ended up reproducing while they were in Marine? Remember they were stuck in the fucking thing? What if there's eggs in there? You don't know how many eggs there could be.
Well, even Drogon, because dragons are considered asexual. They can reproduce on their own. So what's to say she doesn't come back immediately and you wait 20 years?
And now she's got a sky full of dragons.
Right. I mean,
right.
But let's say that just for this instance, none of that's possible, right? Okay. She wants to get back, fly back, and just fucking reclaim the throne, which she doesn't know was burned. But she still wants the Seven Kingdoms. I think her most potent, the most threat she's going to face from anybody is either going to be the Reach or the North.
Well, the Reach all depends on if they stay with the kingdom or not.
Right.
So the North, you got what's left of Winterfell, and you've got all the wildlings. That's basically what you have.
Well, not necessarily, because the wildlings, they push back into
it takes one raven up to Jon to bring them back. That's all it is. And here's the thing. Daenerys is dead. The Unsullied left. What's going to stop them from sending a raven up to Jon and say, all right, they're gone, you can come back?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's one thing I saw on the show, and I was just
terrible.
Oh, Jon's going to be sent up to the Night's Watch. Like, there's no point of a Night's Watch at this point. They just defeated the Night King. So I understand Jon's want because his love for Ygritte to go up north and just live with those people.
Yeah.
I understand that wholeheartedly, but what was to stop him from going to Bran and saying, listen, bro, I'm a Targaryen, to fuck off my throne?
It's true.
Other than his personality, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah, it's such a bitch. I hope George doesn't write him to be such a bitch.
The whole show was building him up. I mean, Lord Commander, King of the North. I mean, it was just so underwhelming hearing him say, I don't want it, but then when he gets it, he's so happy and elated, and he takes charge, and he's a great leader. And then you get to the final portion, he kills Dany, and then boom, wow, okay, I don't want it. I mean, that was just poor writing. But I mean, realistically, I mean, you look at the main powerhouses. You're going to have the North once they rebuild. You have the Reach once they rebuild. And I think those are the only two formidable forces. But Dorne was really never brought into the show.
Not as potent as they are in the story, in the books.
Right. Yeah. And they've got a massive army, and they've sat out all these wars. I mean, they could have a real chance at being a very good ally and bringing a lot of cards to the table, but
ally to who though?
Right, that's the question. Would they ally with Daenerys? Because they resisted Aegon when he came down and conquered the Seven Kingdoms. Dorne was the only kingdom that resisted the Targaryens for the longest.
Yep.
So it's, who do they side with? I don't think they'd side with Daenerys again because, their leaders are gone. I can't remember
I forgot his name.
Yeah. Oh my God, the woman with all the kids.
Oh yeah.
All the daughters.
She was dark, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, with her gone now.
Yep. Because
she was in King's Landing in the cells, watching her daughter die.
Yeah, they never saw what happened to her though.
Oh,
she's still alive?
She got fucking crushed, bro.
You think?
Yeah, oh, yeah. I think she got crushed. 100%.
I mean, there's still a small possibility, though.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see them die on screen, yeah. I mean, well, even if you do, shit, people can come back. But
that's true.
I mean, you look at who the new leader of Dorne is. I think they said it.
No, the show never said it.
No, on the small council meeting. At the very end with Tyrion, they talked about Dorne, I want to say, and they mentioned a new prince or They mentioned a new prince in Dorne. My memory's never that great, but I want to say I remember that. But
no shit.
Yeah, but I mean, you can go so many different ways, man. But it's what it all comes down to is, like you said, with Sansa in the North, man. She's not going to let that kingdom go.
No. But see, that's the thing is she is her own kingdom. That's what she wanted the whole time. Say somebody does attack Bran. Does she help?
It's
not her business. That's a whole different kingdom.
Right. I mean, that's a big thing. Yeah, it's her brother, but I mean, look at what the Northmen have been subject to for past 10, 20 years. Like, I think they're fucking done fighting unless somebody attacks them.
It's true. Look who's left basically as Bran's backup. Mm-hmm. You've got the Tullys. That's not very.
Yeah, that's.
Yay. Yeah. You've got the Vale, which has a great army, but it's led by Robin. Yay. Sam Tarly. Who knows if he went back to his family's area or if he went back to Old Town. Think
so, being a Maester?
Maester, he probably lives in King's Landing, yeah, but I'm just...
who's running it? Yeah.
Yeah. Davos, he doesn't have a house. And even though Bronn has Highgarden's entire army was wasted by Jaime.
Yeah.
What does Bronn have? He doesn't have a family. There is no army in the Six Kingdoms aside from probably Dorne and the Vale.
Yeah, I mean, you got to recuperate all those deaths, and that's going to take a generation to do.
Yep.
Sadly enough, and you're right. I mean, the Vale, they've got a very cavalry-based army, and it's very potent, but that could be decimated in an instant against a dragon. And the same goes for Dorne, but like I said, the Dornish were able to resist the initial invasion of the Targaryens, so my money would be on them. It's just, what side do they fall on?
Right. Got my phone because I was reading something the other day that had 10 theories of 10 Game of Thrones theories. One of them was Kinvara resurrects Daenerys, which we were we both figure that that's probably a good theory. One said, what if some of the White Walkers survived?
Yeah, but the only argument I have with that is, you kill an actual White Walker, right? The Whites themselves are dead, right? You see them disappear. They're whichever one turned them, it is. Once you killed the Night King, all of them died. All of them perished. So, in my opinion, there's no way any would survive whatsoever.
Yeah. There's probably still a way they could write it, but...
Yeah, I'm sure there's a way. For all you know, that's the Night King. What if the Night Queen stayed in the lands of always winter?
Right. Well, here's one that I really like a lot, and this one is kind of like a two-parter, and you might actually like it and change your opinion on this character. It's a big theory that Bran is actually an evil three-eyed raven. He foresaw Daenerys. This is what they're saying is he foresaw Daenerys burning King's Landing, but he didn't do anything about it. Allowed thousands to die so that he could become king. Why would he want to become king? Because the Night King became him. When he died, when Arya stabbed the Night King, he went into Bran because Bran was still in his
Yeah, no, dude, I could
And they're also saying that this is the part that I really like. Is he insisted on telling Jon Snow about his real identity just to put him and Daenerys against each other, and then he warged into Drogon at King's Landing and destroyed the city.
Dude.
Right? whoever thought of that theory, one, has too much time. I'm sorry to say that to whoever did that, but I read it and I'm like, yo, it's like that would be a cool little twist. If that whole time Bran's like, this, I want to be king.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna make Danny look bad.
Just that first portion, man. As far as him actually knowing everything that was going to happen, yeah, I believe that 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even with the way the show was written, I mean, for him to sit there and say, "Why do you think I came here?"
Yeah.
In the first place, like, he already knew he was going to become king, so you knew what events would lead to that. So it's it's tough because I mean I'll accept that alternate theory there because I fucking hate Bran.
Right. But like if he was like an evil character,
it would make
turned out
sense.
to be like that, it'd be dope. Like I'm like, all right, cool. Now you have motive to do all this.
Yeah, exactly. It would have given more depth.
Yeah.
And understanding. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to the new book. Hopefully, I would like for it to be this year, but I doubt it. So.
Yeah. I'd probably say next year, definitely.
Probably like fall of next year, knowing our luck. We'll still be wearing masks.
That is no fucking joke, man.
We need to get I need to get that picture to your wife so she can work on the new logo, man.
So I actually sent her what you sent me, and she's been working on it, but it's been a rough.
Yeah, you've had some rough weeks, but
yeah,
I didn't know she was working on it. All right, cool.
She's getting on top of it. She made some adjustments, so I'll try
obviously
to.
It doesn't have to be that exact logo. I mean, that's a cool thing. I think that look. So.
Yeah. No, it's gonna look fucking priceless. I think it's gonna be a really good look. The only other thing, man, is the intro music, man.
Yeah, I'm changing that up. I got in touch with an old friend, and by friend I mean I used to actually be the coach of this kid when he was at the rec center.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get in touch with him. His brother does producing, so maybe see if he can do an instrumental for me, a custom instrumental. So you know what? Oh, bro, I wish I could get something like that. I wanted Josh to do an intro for me, but I've asked him 3 times. Nothing came of it. So.
Yeah, he's kind of like a groundhog, man.
Right.
But yeah, outside of that, what else you got?
What do you and I have been finally jumped back into Siege. New season started. We haven't ranked yet, but what do you think of the 2 new operators?
The 2 new ones.
Ace and Malusi.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the biggest thing that I'm kind of shocked when I see it, because we've been playing Little Unranked more or less most of the time. You're not seeing Malusi bans, and sadly enough, I think that as a defender, she is crucial. That definitely gives you the one up for any attacker who's thinking they're going to rush into that objective and force you to play a different way. But Ace, for the attackers, he is crucial.
Dude, he needs to be picked every round, I think.
He is crucial, and even more so now having Ace, because he has the 3 disposables there. I think Thatcher is becoming more essential now, and not for Thermite or Hibana, because
right.
Thermite only has 2. That's great. Hibana has 3, but they're very small. They're only equivalent to one of Ace's.
Yep.
And Ace has 3 of them. So you team up like we've been doing with Ace and Thatcher, dude.
Ace pretty much has 9 Hibanas.
Right. He's
insane.
Crucial. And the fact that it works on floors, ceilings, anywhere, on hatches, it's ridiculous. And there's what's the name of that one map we played? Villa, I think it was.
Villa.
We go on the roof, and then you over by the pool table objective.
Oh, pool table and the plane room. Yeah. That's is that Villa? I think that's Villa. And I go off the balcony. You go over on the side by the window. Yep.
That is. It's so crucial, but Ace is 100% somebody that, like you said, needs to be played every round, every single time.
Right.
Malusi, in my opinion, the same thing, but you're not seeing it.
From what I've read, Lucy's getting banned a lot and ranked. A lot.
Okay, well, see, that's more understanding because we're not seeing it in unranked. But even so, we're not even seeing her being played effectively to her potential.
Right. And that she's already getting, like, during the current test servers, they've already nerfed her. Everyone was expecting them to take one of her gadgets away and just have her have two. But I guess what they're doing is they're shortening the range. Mm-hmm. And then they're also lowering the noise it makes. So to me, that's still OP. I still got 3 of those suckers.
Yeah, so, most objectives, they only have, 2 doorways, maybe 3 to get in. So you lock down those doorways, all you have to worry about are windows, but most objectives now don't have windows. So it's, if you can lock that down, I mean, the only thing considerably you have to worry about there is, Ace, Thermite, or Hibana. That's the only other way in.
Yep. But say you team, and you can't shoot it, you can only hit it to break it, or you can Thatcher it, but
that only disables. I mean,
I was thinking about, like, you take someone like a Malusi, you pop down, say there's 2 entrances, 2 doorways in.
Okay.
Boom, you got both of them locked down, and you have somebody. Well, I'll say Goyo because I know he has it. That has the proximities. And you throw those just outside. As soon as you hear that go off, you know to check. As soon as you check that doorway, that person's already moving slow. That's an easy takedown. Like, defense in general has always been a lot more OP than attacking. And now with the addition of this, really, I always thought so. I love attacking, but I think defense is harder.
I think attacking is more OP than as far as operators. As far as operators, because defenders really haven't had, outside of, if you look at Frost and Goyu maybe and Legion, those are the real, and Capcan, those are really the only ones that have defendable gadgets which will stop an attacker in their tracks, right? But the attackers, I mean, you've got how many ways to get into somewhere now? Mm-hmm. You have so many options. You have, I mean, for fuck's sake, you have Finka.
Amaru now, too.
You have Amaru.
Fuck Finka.
Dude, you got Finka. That right there, I've lost so many.
Overpowered.
Yeah, we've lost so many fights because somebody juices up when they come in. And you look at the backstory, I got it. It helps her survive in the suit. It shouldn't juice everybody else up.
Yeah, right.
Like Doc does. And it does it for the whole fucking team. Like, that is just nuts. That's somebody I think who needs a debuff. But that's where I'm getting at it on the attacker OP sense, because how many times have we run through defenders? And the only times I think that we don't is we either have a poor attack plan or we get too cautious. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And
it also depends on what we get teamed with. When it's just you and I rolling doubles, we have to be cautious because it's guaranteed the other 3 are rushing in. Like, all of them are playing fucking
Call of Duty, yeah.
Yeah, they're all we just want kills. Man, it's not about that, man. I led the team in kills. It doesn't matter when we lost 4-0. Like,
yeah, dude, that's a perfect example. Josh gets 7 kills, and I have, 0 or 1 kill that one match, and I was in first place. I mean, you play the objective, man. That's all you got to do. That's what the game was intended for, and I kind of think it went way left of that. Way left. But honestly, in my opinion, I'm going to disagree with you, man. I think attackers are, even with the inclusion of Ace now, are more OP than defenders. Because defenders, the only realistic thing that you have to concern yourself about, as far as the OP sense to it, is the roamers. That's the one thing that gives defenders the ability to repel attackers. Roaming, getting those weird angles out of windows into spawns. I mean, imagine a game to where we had to, as a defender, you had to stay in the objective. You couldn't roam. At that point, defenders would be OP as fuck because now everybody's playing them the way they need to be played.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
In general, defenders are more overpowered.
If they play
if played correctly.
Yes.
You shouldn't be out roaming with Castle and Doc. Say OBJ. There should be 2 I would say 3 roamers. Cav, Vigil, and Pulse should be your only roamers.
Yeah, and not using them all at the same fucking time. I'm sorry, because
Right.
one defender per objective. Most attackers rush.
That's the other thing is like you said, like the roamers are what is detriment to the attacking. How many times have you and I busted into objective because there's no defenders? Everyone's roaming.
Oh yeah.
We plant and then we leave. It's like, all right, later.
Yeah.
We win.
And then you have to fight as a defender to get back into that objective.
Mm-hmm.
You're fucked. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's game styles are completely different than they were a year ago when we started.
Right.
And I'm leaning more towards. I mean, definitely, I'm happy with the operators that are coming out, especially the 2 new ones. That's definitely going to be something different with that new attacker as far as that drone that he can drill through.
Yeah. So the new attacker, I think his name's going to be Scout, and he's based off of Splinter Cell.
Right.
Like I don't think it's actually Sam Fisher. I'm not sure. That's what he's based off of from what I've been able to read. But his gadget is a drill with a fucking wire cam to look in. Some people might like that's like Twitch players will probably like that maybe, I think. Yeah, but here's the thing for me is like that doesn't help the team.
Well, see, the only way I can see that becoming effective, right, is let's take any map to where you can breach the objective from the outside. Like let's say what's that snow map that we play, and you can the garage.
Chalet.
So you take that. If he can breach with that drill through a reinforcement and scope out where people are, if you could see bandits or whatnot, all your drones are taken out, you have that advantage there. But if you're inside a building and you're trying to execute that special, 99% of the time you're going to get killed by a fucking roamer. My opinion.
Here's the other thing. What if his camera doesn't go through reinforcements? Every time you try to drone, you're going to get shot.
Yeah.
If you go through a door, he needs to be able to go through castles, reinforcements, anything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's not any good.
Yeah, it's going to be another Warden, in my opinion. Like,
the Warden at least still has the coolest model. He looks dope.
Yeah, he looks dope. I like the way he runs with the gun. I talked so much shit about him before I played him.
He's good. I like him.
He's good, and it's so detrimental whenever you have flashbangs just being tossed in left and right, and especially Ying now. But as a team supporter, he's not there. Unless you're staying objective and just
unless you're also in a mic with a crew, then you can talk and say, "Hey, this guy's coming here. I got flashbang. He's right here." You know.
Right. It's just you look at Siege overall, man. I think that's the only thing that's lacking now is you have a lot of run and gun players and not a lot of team players. But even so, you look at some of these pro teams, you got team players, and they run and gun like they're bats out of hell with their sensitivity up to 100. I mean, It is what it is. They're definitely on a different level, but I'm pretty happy with where we're at. We're just missing 2 good players. You know, we got me, you, and Pedo, and we need 2 more dedicated players who are going to live and breathe Siege during that rank time.
Right.
Because we go into a match with 2 fucking randoms in ranked pro. All they got to do is screw around, and that's a loss. That's it.
Yep.
Because 3-on-5, I mean, on a ranked match, you can only do so much.
Yeah, I'm ready to get into ranked for this season. I think we've waited enough for the big ones to be out of the way so we can rank to where I think we're actually supposed to be. You know, we always jump in a rank first couple days and we rank silver, gold, and it's like I think we're at least the 3 of us when we play together. I would say we're mid to high gold, even though Josh usually gets silver.
Right.
I still think as a team we're gold, but I think we can be better. I would definitely like to see a platinum here soon, even though us talking about platinum, anybody that plays Siege for real is like platinum noob, you know, whatever. But I just
It's like somebody joining it. That's just like one of these kids joining the party. Oh, you're a 30-year-old man. You're right.
You're right, dude. He's like, what are you doing playing video games? It's like, I grew up with video games. Like, I was around when they came around. Like, I had Atari, I had Nintendo, and
the Nintendo 64, 007.
Dude,
like that was the
so
first
good.
and only multiplayer game to where it became competitive with friends.
That's where you learn. I think that's the game that taught me how to lie. Also, because I'd kill someone like, "Are you screen peeking?" I was like, "No,
right,
no, I didn't see you come around the corner at me." No, that game taught me how to lie.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you, I downloaded one of these backwards compatible games from like the 360 that I used to play a lot, and the fucking graphics were terrible.
Yeah,
terrible. I mean, I'm looking at it like I'm trying to play like what's that game you play? Minecraft versus like Siege. You know, that's what it feels like to me, man.
Right.
It's just like I'm looking back even further, and I'm like, man, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, original PlayStation. Like, these kids don't understand. They're coming in with prime graphics.
Exactly. I remember on the 64, I had the first Tom Clancy game, which was Rainbow Six, and it was just a pure storyline. It was you, and you were in charge of a team of 4, you and 3 other guys, and you had to tell. This is back on 64, and you had to tell each person, set
what
up on that door, set up on that. Yeah, and it was so intense. And now you look at
you only had a crosshair.
Right, that was it.
No gun. You only had a crosshair at the center of your screen, and that's where you aimed.
And now you're looking, and you have Siege, you have Tom Clancy's Wildlands and Breakpoint, and he's, his company's putting out. Unfortunately, Tom Clancy's passed, but his company's still putting out all these games, and it's just,
Well, it's like 99% of games right now. The hype, the media, it's just they hype everything up so much. And you get these little bits of the game, and you're like, holy shit, it's going to be fucking awesome. Game comes out, and it's okay. You're excited for the first few hours, and then it's fucking done. And you're like, what?
That was Breakpoint for us. We were hyped for that game.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind trying to get back into it. I think maybe we kind of fell off of it a little hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's
not Wildlands, and Wildlands was better.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is like, me and you have 2 different gameplay mindsets versus the other people we play with.
It's true.
Like, we could go into Wildlands or Breakpoint and straight up just chill, do one mission, and it take 3 hours. Where you take Ace or you take Pedo, and they're like, oh, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, we both have a very tactical mindset when it comes to it, and it's like, we'll sit on the one area that we're going to attack and scout it with drones and binoculars and mark every single person first, and then decide, okay, let's do this, let's do that. Whereas they're like, fuck it, Leroy Jenkins, and they fucking just run in,
That is so true. That's so true. But that's I mean, dude, I've been itching for a game, and it's funny you bring back the original Ghost Recons, man, because I could imagine if they remade one of those games with today's technology and brought the tactics back, I'd buy every DLC they put out, man.
Imagine if they had a way though to do Siege, but they made it to where you had to be tactical. You couldn't just roam and run and gun. They wouldn't. We would destroy it. People couldn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
You would have to learn and talk and plan. People wouldn't want to do that.
No.
Meanwhile, you and I would probably end up with a fucking whiteboard. Like, all right, dude, this is what we're gonna do.
Right.
Right. Have our phones out with fucking FaceTime. All right, you see this is what I got.
Dude, that is so spot on. But you don't see games like that, man. I mean, we've looked. I can't tell you how many times, how many games you've bought, how many games we played together that we're hype about. We're just like, fuck, it's not what we were thinking.
Well, see, you and I are also the only ones that enjoy survival games, and Ace has gotten into a little bit with 7 days over on PC, but he hasn't been on PC in a while. He's been playing Call of Duty, and it's just there's so many survival games that you and I have tried from. I think we started with 7 days. We went to No Man's Sky. We went to Atlas, Conan, Ark.
The new one we just got, Journey of Life.
I can't play it for some reason. It keeps kicking me out. Medieval Engineers.
Yeah, dude, there's a bunch.
Yeah, there's just a ton. And we've had good times on 7 days, and No Man's Sky we played for almost 3 months.
Yeah.
But there still just hasn't been that one that has solid.
Just sucked us in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, No Man's Sky I think is probably the one that we play consecutively outside of Conan.
Conan had us for the longest, I think.
I almost installed it yesterday again.
I have it. I reinstalled it just recently.
They just came out with some newer DLC.
Yep, I saw that.
And it looks dope as hell, and I'm just like, keep pulling.
You have 3 DLC. You didn't purchase a single one.
There is accuracy.
I did. I was like, dude, just because I would have them, and you're like, dude, all right, bring me 100 of these walls. I'm like, fuck it, I'm buying it.
Bro, it kills me when you're at work or something, or we haven't talked all fucking day, and then out of nowhere, I'll just, boom, you just received a gift. And then I'll get a text from you, and you're like, hey, we're going to play this later.
Yep.
I mean, it's outstanding, man. But no, I think I'll reinstall Conan here as soon as we're finished and delve back into that with you, man. Because even if they didn't, we'll go back to that concept we were wanting to do.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, even if we, you can't change the map or anything like that. It is what it is, but
just to build and because obviously when it comes to building stuff, you're head and shoulders above me. But I like to put the stuff in there to make it feel alive and stuff, and you put the little.
Bro, I will build for days on end. I do not have the patience to put all the little intricate things that take that building and bring it to life. That's where you come in, dude. And you do it.
That marketplace, bro.
Oh,
that was probably the best thing I've done. You built an entire marketplace, and it looked great. I came in and just put the little things in. I had filled the shops with stuff. I put tables. I put stuff on the tables and it came to life. I put people out there, and it's fun to do things like that.
I've touched up on the recent updates, man, and a lot of the AI. I forgot what they're called, slaves, best way to put it.
Right.
You can do a lot more with them now. You can actually put them in trading positions to trade behind counters and stuff. So I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll go ahead and go download that, man. And
yeah, when we're done, I'm hopping on there anyway. I'm gonna play Battlefield. There's something.
Oh, fuck Battlefield, bro. I tried playing Battlefield last night, and again, for those of you listening that are 10, 15 years old, yeah, we're 30-plus-year-old gamers. Stop fucking sniping and leave me in that bush. Let me play my way.
Right.
Let me chill, man. I got ran over so many times last night by fucking Jeeps.
Right.
I quit. It was ridiculous.
So if somebody picks me off and I don't know it, I'm not as mad. I'm a little impressed. Right. But when I'm sniping for a while and then somebody stabs me in the back or runs me over with a vehicle, I'm like, fuck you. You cheap bastard. Beat me at my game. I'm selfish. Outsnipe me.
But hell, man, outside of that, it's gonna be different, man. I got those gifts coming in. Finally got a date on that. Gonna be the first week of July. So thank God that'll be delivered. I've been waiting forever, telling you about it forever.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe that the thing didn't even exist.
That's damn COVID, man. It was crazy because they're like, hey, it's in the port of Miami, and no, it's actually in New York.
Right.
How do you fuck that up? But no, it's going to be here, and then I picked up, believe it or not, 2 new board games.
Oh, yeah, you said you got Monopoly?
Game of Thrones Monopoly and Game of Thrones Trivia, and I thought it was just a card game, right?
Oof,
just a trivia. It's got 1,200 trivia cards, right? So you can play it that way, or it's got a board with it as well, and based on the trivia and questions and shit you ask, you can gain kingdoms, and you can play that way. So it's only a 2-player game. So I was like, well, shit, there it is.
Well, we planned, Eric and I are going to come over eventually, and we planned on doing the Game of Thrones day. We'll get there early, like 10 or 11 in the morning. We'll cook, big feast, and we'll have Game of Thrones on and shit, and we'll play the games. Yeah, it'll be fun. I definitely want to do that trivia. That sounds dope.
Yeah, it's only 2 players if we do the whole board and everything, but if we just do the trivia cards, the 12
we could just sit around and talk and ask questions.
Yeah, all 4 of us could do it or whatnot. Or,
no way the girls know as much as we do. No way.
Dude, first thing Rebecca said, she's like, I'll maybe get 5.
Who's the blonde that rides the dragons? I know that one!
But now, dude, and Erica getting that cookbook.
Dude, yeah, the Game of Thrones cookbook.
I'm excited, dude.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. I told she needs to go through it and take some pictures of maybe specific recipes to at least show you guys so that we can all be prepared of who's going to go grab what from the stores and so we're prepared for it,
Yeah. But dude, what's that shit you make?
The butterbeer, that's actually from Harry Potter, but yeah, I'll be making some butterbeer.
Well, good thing the ladies are Potter fans.
Right? They're bigger Potter fans than we are.
Yeah, dude, I enjoyed the movies.
I love it. I'm a pretty big Potter fan, but they got me beat.
I went to Harry Potter World over at Universal, I think it was.
Awesome.
And that was fucking awesome. Loved it. But not as big as they are.
Right. So here's the deal. One of us needs to just win a big time lottery. And then we'll stay at home with the kids and they can fucking travel over to Europe, do the Harry Potter tour. Then when they come back, we'll travel and go find where they filmed all the Game of Thrones shit. So that's the plan, I don't even know where they filmed Game of Thrones. Where was that?
Dude, New Zealand.
New Zealand or something like
Ireland,
that?
Ireland, Scotland. They went to
all
Morocco
over.
or some Tanzania or Morocco or some shit. They went over a lot of places. Dude, I tell you what, if I ever hit the lotto and had too much money to ever spend in my lifetime, my kids were set, you were set, bro, I would build a fucking Game of Thrones village and live there.
A village? Just in the middle of the state.
Just buy a fucking island or something somewhere and just start building shit, bro.
Just not exact replicas, maybe miniature versions. You got a mini Winterfell with 3 or 4 houses.
Right.
King's Landing, and that's awesome.
That shit would be set, man.
They'd be like, man, they've got their own King's Landing, their own Winterfell. Why does the guy that bought the island live over in this shit house called Forrester? I don't fucking understand.
Fuck it. I will tell you what, bro. And I know you feel me in this, man. You cannot search anywhere and find House Forrester merchandise. And fuck D&D for not bringing out House Forrester. They made a fucking game about House Forrester, but they couldn't put
the entire video game on the house and they're in the books. They're in the series. They are part of the whole thing, the canon. Yeah. The show doesn't even mention them. If it wasn't for House Forrester, they wouldn't. Winterfell wouldn't have the wood to make the shields that they have. They don't even get to that.
Yeah.
They missed a big opportunity with that house, and that's coming from a Mormon fan. So.
But I got Davos, so fuck it.
Yeah, I mean that's not a house; it's just a person. So. Yeah. Davos Seaworth. God.
I would like to have known what he got after all the bullshit. They give him his own little keep or something.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's got to be in King's Landing, just chilling.
Right. Well, see, that's the question, right?
Sales.
Yeah, what is he doing? But hell, man, Game of Thrones. Oh,
that's the thing. Is anytime you're on, that's going to be a Game of Thrones episode. We could talk about that all day long.
Oh, yeah, dude. And especially with this trivia game, dude, I almost had half a mind to crack out these cards.
Well, that's what I was going to say is when we do it, that's just going to be a podcast. That's going to be an extra episode right there. The Game of Thrones Trivia Cast.
1,200 cards for trivia.
It's going to be fun.
Bro.
I'll have to bring my setup, just a microphone or two, and at least have that to record.
Yeah. Do that while the women are cooking.
Right. You know we're gonna end up cooking.
Oh, dude, I know it. I fucking know it. Rebecca will be in there for like 20 minutes. Be like, I got the kids. All right. Yep.
Erica could cook really well, though. Yeah. So I might just give her the tools and say, "Get going, babe." She's gonna listen to this. She's gonna punch me. But
don't you guys have a trip coming up?
End of July. I have the vacation time, and we're planning on driving up to Georgia and Alabama, see her family, so I can meet everybody. I met her sister this past weekend, her youngest sister. She came down. That was really cool. Her and her boyfriend.
Okay.
They're really cool people, and they're gamers also, so that was really neat to talk to them. They play a lot of Call of Duty and stuff. Actually, I think they're into Apex right now, but like I showed him a clip of like Siege, and he was like, "Oh gosh!" So, but
future fourth.
Right. It all depends on something else that we're trying to do. Like, she and I are looking for a place to live.
Right.
This place came up. That's legit a street behind me right now.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, I think. I know it's 3-bedroom. I think it's 2-bath. But it's good size. This neighborhood's amazing back here, obviously. And it's only like $12.99 a month, and I'm like, fuck. It's been on the site for 2 days, and we've already sent emails. It's like, I want this place bad. The thing is, the move-in date would be the weekend that we took off.
Oh shit!
So if we get it, we'll move in instead. I'll take another week. I have another week of vacation anyway. I'll take it, and we'll go up north then.
Right.
But I'd rather get the house, get settled, because then. We got our room, Kenzie's room, and the third room will be guest room /
Game of Thrones room.
Game of Thrones podcast room, yeah. Well, I mean, I've got my little, I don't know why I'm pointing because the video's not going to be in this episode, but I got my little Mormont shield. I got my Mormont banner that'll be behind me. And if I got a good enough friend one day, I'm going to have a nice Mormont sword. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Dude, me and Rebecca had this conversation. We're buying a house, and we're going to start looking here at the end of July. And I told her, I was like, hey, let's say we get a 3-bed or a 4-bed, and we're aiming for a 4-bed, 2-3 bath. I was like, kids will each have their own room. We'll have the master room. I was like, both of us want to have an office. And I was like, who's going to get it? And I was like, you should take it. You deserve it. Just being chivalrous. And it worked out in my way because Rebecca's like, no, you should have it because you got all your Game of Thrones stuff and you would love it. And she's like, I was like, I know why. And she goes, why? And I was like, because you don't want that shit in the rest of the house. She goes,
yep.
Exactly.
Here's the deal for you, too, so you can fight harder. Because you guys are buying, obviously, right?
Right.
You buy a house to where you have an office. You let me know, and you pick out which wall in that office, and I will draw the fucking Forester tree and paint it on there. You can have just a big dude. This motherfucker already had a plan.
That's a fucking plan. Mm-hmm. Sir, that is happening.
You can put shelves around the whole thing.
Dude,
the thing is, in the middle of the tree is the sword. We got to find a way to get you a Forester sword. If we got to get it made or something.
Yeah, we'd have to find contract a smith or something.
No, I actually already looked into that for Christmas and shit, and the minimum for a custom sword is $3,900. I was like, I love you, bro. But
fuck no, bro. Yeah, that's too much. Jesus. Considering the one I want to get you is $280, I think.
Right. It's I love you, but I also like eating and living, so.
No shit, but dude, Rebecca's giving me shit right now. When you come over, you'll see it. I've got all my pops. I've just steadily been ordering Game of Thrones pops, and they're just piling up. She's like, "Well, if you're not gonna put them on your desk," I was like, "I don't have any more room." She's like, "Well, what are you gonna do with them?" I was like, "Put them in my office when we buy a house." Yeah, So, got myself some more brownie points with getting that hamster too. So.
Yeah.
But
you're gonna have to kiss ass for a couple months until you can lock that house in. I'm just letting you know. The Pinellas County area it's a nice area.
Dude, to be honest, we're looking. I mean,
Tampa, Pinellas.
we've looked at Brandon, and I haven't been too fond of that.
Brandon South.
Dude, the crime rates just suck there.
It's not good.
And we've looked at Wesley Chapel, St. Pete. We've looked at there's oh my fucking god. It begins with an M.
Madeira Beach?
No, it's not Madeira Beach. It's right out by you. It's something beach, and it starts with a fucking M.
Myrtle Beach?
Myrtle. Is it by you?
Madeira Beach is by me.
Oh, then it's Madeira Beach. It's by you. I know that much. So we've been looking into that area. I mean, there's nothing obviously tying us down to Lakeland.
Right.
You know, not anymore. So, like, we're definitely open-minded as moving closer, and that's something we've talked about doing. So, and fuck, I mean, it's Tampa. So
Tampa's closer than Lakeland, so I'm okay with Tampa.
Yeah. I mean, Tampa,
I'm gonna look in St. Pete.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing I'm looking at, man, when it comes down to it is crime rates and.
Well, I know which side of the road of St. Pete to be on. So.
Right. But schools are the only other thing.
Yep.
I mean, I'm looking at Polk County, dude. All these fucking schools are D's and F's. Like elementary all the way to high school, and it's just like, well, that's where the money should be going. But
yeah. Well, there's good elementary, middle schools around me.
Right.
High schools, there's maybe one or two, depending, but
yeah,
nothing in that low of class.
Well, we're going to start looking, I'd say probably, like I said, at the end of this month. It's going to take us about 30, 45 days to close, and we want to be moved in by the 1st of December, like that be our moving day. So we've got 3 months, give or take, to find a house and get in. So we're going to take a look at a few houses. Any houses I see out your way, I'm going to say, hey, this area good, not.
Yep.
And go from there, dude.
That's the way to do it.
But, yeah, fucking Lakeland sucks. And the only good thing about it is you're in between Tampa and Orlando, so if I want to go to Orlando, it's the same time it's going to take me to get to Tampa. So.
Yeah, what's an extra half hour, though? Like.
Yeah. I mean, it's no biggie. But, nah, dude, definitely going to keep you in the loop, and then hopefully you find a good house, man. Because $1,700 fucking dollars a month here, renting, 5 years, no.
Right. No.
Ready to get the fuck out of here.
I hear you, man. Let's go ahead and cut it off. We're about an hour and a half. That's,
Jesus.
It's not much, but like I've said in a past episode, I'm in the middle of revamping the whole thing. I'm gonna have a whole new logo. I have a new song. I'm gonna have a new direction of how the podcast goes and stuff. So I'm just happy to be able to get an episode out and get to sit down and talk with you again, even though we're probably both gonna talk to each other in about less than a minute.
You're right.
The Xbox, but
hey, I just want to say one more thing, and just keep it frosty, peasants.
Oh my God, I knew that was coming.
That's just, and that right.
Nobody listens anyway.
Strictly for
only what?
And Ace.
10 people listen to this thing anyway, so I don't even think Ace listens to him anymore.
Hey,
I'm not gonna say a thing. Ace, if you actually listen to these, I'm gonna say if Ace listens to these, next time you talk to me, bro, just say the word coconut. That way I know. Yeah. That way I know that he actually listens. I don't think he does, but I have like 17 people text me coconut.
You need to start doing fucking secret phrases every podcast just so you can see this. But all right, bro. Well, thanks for having me. Next one, definitely. When you get over here, dude, we'll do this trivia. And
yeah, we'll record it for sure. That'll be fun.
Good. But I'll let you go, man. Take it easy.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, bud.